Hello and good day, everyone. We are going to go ahead and get started. I'd like to welcome you to Building a Powerful Email Strategy, Techniques and Tactics that Get Results, brought to you by the Deliverability team here at Acton. Today, we're going to take just around 15 minutes of your time to help dial up your email game. But first, a little about us, starting with Brandon Blair.
Thank you very much, Craig. Hello, everyone. Thanks for being here with us today. I'm Brandon Blair, and I'm part of the Deliverability team here at Acton. I've been in the email marketing world for a little over 4 years now and focus on data management and helping marketers reinforce sender best practices.
Thanks, Brandon. My name is Craig Balkin. I am also a deliverability consultant here at Acton. I've been in the email space for a little under 2 years, and I have around 17 plus years of experience in the SMS space. I have a lot of deep experience working with small to enterprise companies working with SMS deliverability. All right, Brandon, if you could, tell the good folks here what it is that we do.
Absolutely. Yeah, before we dive into things, let's talk a little bit about Acton's deliverability services, a little bit about what we do and how we can help. We work to improve email deliverability and have access to a number of different tools. This means getting the right message to the right person at the right time. Our deliverability team provides tactical guidance and insights to ensure that you're building a healthy strategy for deliverability. We also monitor your domain and IP, unblock you if you're ever blacklisted, and overall make recommendations to adjust your sending cadence based on the key email metrics that we are seeing.
Thank you, Brandon. Also, shameless plug here, but our team also provides SMS marketing strategies, international sending ID support, and deliverability monitoring. Webinar reminders that you received if you were opted into SMS were powered by Acton's SMS tool. Acton is the only map with fully integrated SMS features built natively into automated programs. All right, Brandon, we're going to talk a little bit about our agenda today. So everyone is clear, we're going to speak a little bit about list health and list maintenance. We're going to talk about the value proposition that you provide to your subscribers. We'll discuss design optimization for your emails. We'll also talk about how your customers can sell you. We'll think about the personalizing of all of the emails that you send. We'll spend some time on personalization. We'll talk about testing all of your email, and we'll talk about tying it all together into tactics and techniques that you can use to dominate your email game for 2023. Brandon, go ahead and get us started.
That sounds great, Craig. Let's start getting into it. All right, first up, we're going to talk about list validation and cleansing. A key part in building a powerful email strategy is list maintenance and making sure your list is as clean as possible. For list maintenance, we often turn towards a few different list cleansing tools that'll scrub your list and remove any harmful addresses. And there are a few different types of services out there. For validation, we usually turn towards Never Bounce. This is a validation tool, and it's mainly to help hard bounce issues. This type of service will catch any addresses that are invalid or just straight up not emailable. It's a good service and cost effective, but there is a much more thorough cleaning that can be done. And for cleansing services, we go to Webula. Webula is the top of the, the cream of the crop for cleansing services. This type of service will remove all those hard bounces, but it will also do a full scrub of your list and remove any potential threats and known spam traps. This will be a much deeper cleanse and leave your list in good shape when building a powerful email strategy. And the foundation of deliverability really resides within the data. Poor data is the quickest way to tank conversion rates due to poor reputation. Reputation can take a good amount of time to rebuild, so it's always best to remove those harmful addresses beforehand. We want to make sure that your data is in tip-top shape and making sure that your data is clean, and having clean data is the best way to start building your powerful email strategy.
Thank you, Brandon. That was awesome. An important question you can ask yourself as you think about your email strategy for 2023 is, are you providing value? Find consistent time to discuss your value proposition with internal stakeholders. Marketers spend too much time discussing their own team's goals. The pressure on marketing teams to send more and more email to all contacts is something we hear frequently at Acton. We really recommend that you ask yourself, is this an email that I would open and engage with? What value do my prospects and customers get out of this email? Am I sending this email because I have to? If you answer yes to bullets 1 and 3, or you can't answer bullet 2, then it's time to rethink your email strategy. Another thing we want to talk about to dial up your game for 2023 is optimizing email design. First, build responsive emails. Your emails need to render properly on the devices your subscribers are using to access them, so make sure that you test that. 2, be above the fold. Make sure your call to action is easy to find on any device with no scrolling required. 3, design emails by segment. If you send cat food emails to dog people, no one is going to open and engage with your email. Design your emails specific to your target segments. 4, use great images. Use low payload, attention-grabbing images that are crisp and easy to see on any device. 5, shorten subject lines. Keep your email subjects as short as possible, especially for mobile devices. 6, avoid multiple calls to action. Stick to 1, maybe 2 calls to actions, or your subscribers will simply be overwhelmed by the amount of choices. 7, personalize everything. That includes subject lines. Personalize where you can to build personal connections with your subscriber base. 8, play with fonts. Test different fonts and ensure that your emails are legible on the devices your subscribers are accessing them from. 9, focus on the pre-header. The pre-header previews content below the subject line and can help to entice opens.
That was all great stuff, Craig. Thank you. Something else that you can optimize is the call to actions. Optimizing CTAs is a great way to see what your audience likes and is a great way to drive engagement. A few best practices when looking to optimize CTAs for your email strategy are, keeping CTAs short, using buttons or images for emphasis, and having them have a sense of urgency. Linking to a dedicated and specific landing page. This is especially important when trying to track those CTAs and trying to track different conversions. And then lastly, optimize, test, and repeat. Trying to find what your audience is going to click on is really important. And it's always important to test a bunch of different CTAs against each other and see which one's going to perform the best.
Thanks, Brandon. That was great. Another important tactic you can focus on to up your email game is to source user-generated content. What is user-generated content? It could be anything from call-outs on review sites or social media pages. You can also ask your customer for testimonials, which is exactly what we did here. It has immense value to any marketing plan, really, because user-generated content increases your credibility. It isn't salesy, and it works to improve your conversion rates. Another great tactic you can take up to dial up your email game is to personalize everything, everywhere. Personalization goes a long way towards building a connection with your subscriber. You can start with subject lines. You already know their first name, so use it. Personalized subject lines significantly increase open rates, and some studies have shown that they can do so by 15 to 25%. Also, get content creative. Demonstrate that you understand the customer's journey. Use details from the customer's timeline to create engaging content specifically for your customers.
Awesome stuff, Craig. After we've built a beautiful email, it's time to think about who it's going to. Have the users in your list engage with your mail in the past. It's always best practice to focus on those users that have engaged with your mail, are opted in, and want to receive your mail. It's also important to think about those users that are highly unengaged and start sunsetting them out. This means suppressing contacts that have been sent a number of emails but haven't opened anything in a year. These are the contacts that are directly causing you harm, and it's best to get them out of your list. All right, let's talk a little bit about A/B testing. A/B testing can be very powerful when trying to hone in on your audience. Test different subject lines or CTAs to see what your audience enjoys. It will give you a chance to see what performs better and really helps increase engagement and overall ROI. It'll also help reduce opt-outs, bounce rates, and overall helps improve reputation. Always remember in email marketing, everything is testable.
That was great. Thank you, Brandon. Another tactic and technique you can focus on is to make use of Act-On's sending tools. Act-On's adaptive send feature uses predictive intelligence based on your contact's history timeline. Use adaptive send to send emails to each contact at the most probable time they will open it. We recommend that you schedule adaptive send at least a day ahead to give Act-On the opportunity to analyze predictive behavioral data.
All right. So with a powerful email strategy, we believe you'll crush your goals in 2023. Here's some key takeaways from today. List health is extremely important. Making sure that your list has been cleansed before and you're starting to sunset and suppress highly unengaged leads is extremely important. And also having your list be clean beforehand is also very, very important. And focusing on contacts that are engaged and do actually want to receive your mail. Second is optimize. Test as much as possible in email marketing. Design, CTAs, and subject lines are all testable. Be a scientist and see what's going to work with your audience. Lastly, analyze. It's always important to analyze your metrics after the fact and see how your audience reacted and see how you can make adjustments. With what you see, you can further test, those subject lines, those CTAs, and see what's going to work best.
That was fantastic. Thank you, Brandon. All right, so how can you reach our team? At any time, ask your account manager or your customer success manager to schedule a meeting with an Act-On deliverability consultant to discuss your email deliverability, explore strategies, and improve your inboxing. We are here and we are very, very easy to reach, and everyone on our team loves to talk about email. Brandon and I would like to thank you for joining us today. The on-demand for this webinar will go out on Friday. We wish you all an amazing day, and we look forward to hearing from you. We will now go ahead and open up the floor to a few questions. Brandon, well done.
Yeah,
Good
you
to see
too,
you,
Greg.
buddy.
Awesome,
Hi, everyone.
great info.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here with us today. I got one question coming in, and I'm just going to get right to it, Craig. So first question I see, how many emails should a contact receive before being considered for sunsetting? This is a really good question and can vary based on the use case, but I typically recommend at least 5 or so emails, but it really does depend on how many times you're sending per week. I usually say let the contact go through your sending cycle for at least 2 or so weeks before, considering them having enough emails, if they haven't opened anything in a year to sunset them out. So, if you send around 2 times per week, that 4 or 5 number could be a really good starting point. But that definitely doesn't have to be the for sure number. Everything in email marketing is testable. So seeing what's going to work best for you and what's going to help improve your reputation.
Brandon, let me ask you, would you make any sort of recommended changes to that based on the sender's use case? Or
Absolutely.
is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Everything I think is definitely, your use case is always going to be considered because, one thing is not going to work for everyone. It's all about finding what is going to mesh for you and your audience and your data.
Okay. And as a reminder for any of you that have questions, please, again, reach out to your account manager or your customer success manager. There is a question here. I'll take this one. How can I find out who my customer success manager is and how to contact them? The simple solution to that is to just simply reach out to your account manager. So hopefully that answers your question. Or, if you have any contact at Acton, they will be glad to help you find that person.
Absolutely. Yeah. Our account managers are great here at Acton, and they'll definitely point you in the right direction.
Absolutely.
All right. I got another one here. How long does it usually take to recover from bad reputation? That's another one that is definitely based on use case and based on your data. But from my experience, I usually see that it takes around 30 to 60 days for at least to see some sort of progress. And the most important thing to think about when trying to improve reputation is you have to be consistent. You have to consistently target those engaged users and get all those bad users out of your list. If you are consistently doing that for 30 to 60 days at least, we should start to see some improvement. But that does not mean that you stop targeting your engaged users and sunsetting users afterwards. You still have to be incredibly consistent. If you fall back to those bad practices, you will find yourself in hot water again. But usually we see around 30, 60 days to see any type of improvement. What about you, Craig? What have you seen with your clients?
That's 100% the same. I think it's just different. It's different per ISP. And I think we're kind of all in a weird state dealing with Microsoft and some of their recent changes. Basically, consistently with Google in the neighborhood of 45 days. And sometimes up to 60. That also from time to time has depended on the use case. So yeah, that's a good question. Okay, from the chat, can you talk about personalizing subject lines? Is this a button feature we can use? I use personalization in email copy, but I never thought about subject lines. So I would recommend that you reach out to your customer success manager. The answer is yes, you can. I don't recall if it is a button feature, but your customer success manager will be able to help you out there in terms of training you up on how to do it. And I'm glad you're asking that question because it really is a good idea. There are a lot of independent studies out there that we have mentioned outside of Acton that kind of talk about the increase in response rates, open and engagement rates from personalizing subject lines. Okay. Another question. Does deliverability monitoring cost extra with Acton for SMS? Just so everyone is clear, it does not. If that is something that interests you, please reach out to your account manager or your customer success manager. We maintain reporting, deliverability, error logging for all of the SMS that we do here at Acton.
Awesome stuff. I got another
Brandon,
question from the chat.
Yeah, you saw the question. Go for it.
Right on. I beat you to it. What is the best way to manage hard and soft bounces? Great question. So, first off, to manage hard bounces, that's going to be list cleansing. The hard bounces are going to be emails that are straight up invalid and not emailable. So list validation or list cleansing tools are going to be what is going to be the best to manage those beforehand. Once a hard bounce does hard bounce, it will be permanently suppressed, so you don't have to worry about that. For managing soft bounces, those list cleanses will catch a good amount of harmful addresses, but while you're sending, and if you're experiencing a lot of soft bounces, a first step that I usually take is making sure that the soft bounce limit is set up. So this is a limit within Acton within your soft bounce list, and it would be a limit to move people over to the inactive soft bounce list. This is a limit that basically if a person hits a consecutive amount of soft bounces, they would then be put on that list. Say if your number is 3 and a contact soft bounces 3 times in a row, they'll then be moved to that inactive soft bounce list and be suppressed. That is one of the easiest ways that I see to manage soft bounces, and usually the route that I go.
Brandon, what is the good soft bounce threshold that you would recommend?
That's a great question, Craig. So usually very dependent on your use case and how many times you send per week. Very similar to what I was saying about sunsetting. Usually look at how many times you're sending per week, and maybe look at 2 or 3 weeks. If a person has been consistently soft bouncing for that long, we should probably get them out of your list. Say you send about 2 times per week, that 4 or 5 number could be a really good starting place. And if we see that soft bounces are not really dropping too much at all, we could always tighten that up a little bit, or go the opposite way. We could loosen it up if we see that people are getting suppressed a little too quickly. So it's all about seeing what's going to work best with your data.
Awesome. Brandon, let me ask you this. What is the most challenging ISP that you've had to work with in your time at Acton?
Ooh. Geez.
I put you on the spot. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
I'm just going to say Microsoft.
Yeah, I was going to say Microsoft
Okay.
has been giving me a big pain lately. And it's mainly because Microsoft just seems to do their own thing. Even when it comes down to just like email marketing and, trying to design your emails to show up in Outlook, they ignore a bunch of CSS properties. So they're just different from everyone else, and they're very much like to be that way. So, trying to improve deliverability metrics there can be tough sometimes, and really a challenge. Trying to get through to their postmaster team can be a challenge sometimes. But it's something that we're very familiar with, and we definitely figure out.
Absolutely. So folks, there you've heard it from a real email expert on our team. I think we have ceased to have any questions in the Q&A. So we'll make this the last call for any additional questions. And if there are none, we will allow you to buy some time back in your day. Folks, Brandon and I would like to thank you for joining us. We understand your time is valuable, so we hope that we were able to pass on a little bit of wisdom to you as you dial up your email game. Again, we're easy to reach. Please reach out to your account manager, your customer success manager, if you have any further questions or you want to speak to anybody on our team. Have a wonderful week and a wonderful weekend. Brandon, you were awesome. I'll see you soon.
Thanks
everybody.
Bye.